Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty common for businesses
Mm,
handling customer returns.
right.
You shared some great material that lays out a very structured way to do this.
Hmm.
And our mission here is really to unpack that process for you so you can see clearly how a company might take a return from, the initial "I want my money back" call.
All the way to the credit hitting their account, yeah.
Exactly.
And the material really highlights a system-integrated approach. It's about connecting all the dots for returns and complaints, actually.
Okay, system integrated. So less room for things to fall through the cracks, I guess.
That's the idea. Better tracking, more efficiency. We'll get into those benefits.
Cool. So let's start at the beginning. Your customer wants to return something. What's the absolute first thing that needs to happen in this system?
It kicks off with what's called a Return Material Authorization Request, an RMA.
An RMA. Okay.
Think of it as the customer officially raising their hand saying, hey, I need to send this back. It's the gatekeeper, really.
So it prevents just random stuff showing up at the warehouse door.
Exactly. It validates the request and lets the company prep for it. Essential first step.
Got it. Okay. RMA requested. Let's say it's approved. What's next?
Right. Once it gets a return sales order is created in the system.
A new sales order, but for a return.
Precisely. And what's really smart here is this order specifically references the original invoice for the item being returned.
Ah, okay. So you can trace it right back to the original sale.
Yes, that linkage is, well, it's critical for validating everything later on. Tracking, making sure the price is right, all that.
Makes sense. Now, the material mentions an actual RMA document, like a piece of paper.
Yeah. So after the return sales order is made, the system actually generates a physical RMA document.
And that goes to the customer.
Correct. They're meant to include it with the goods they're sending back. It acts like an ID tag, basically.
Like a luggage tag for the return package.
Kind of, yeah. It just helps the warehouse folks identify it immediately when it lands on the dock, speeds things up.
Okay, so the customer ships it back, RMA form included. What happens when it arrives at the company?
Well, when the shipment comes in, a return delivery is created in the system. And importantly, this references that RMA number from the document.
So another logged step, proof it arrived.
Exactly. It's the formal record that the goods are physically back.
And where do they put these items? I assume not just back on the main shelf.
Definitely not. They're received into a specific spot, usually called return stock.
Return stock, okay.
And the key thing here for inventory management is this location is marked as non-MRP relevant.
Non-MRP material requirements planning.
You got it. So by keeping it separate like this, the main planning system doesn't accidentally think these returned items, which might be faulty, right, are available for new orders.
Ah, that's clever. Keeps the main inventory count accurate.
Exactly. It avoids messing up production or purchasing plans.
So the items are sitting in this return stock area. What then? Inspection time.
Absolutely. That's the next critical stage. The goods have to be inspected.
To see if they're okay.
Right. Based on the inspection, a decision is made. Can it go back into regular stock to be sold again? Or is it damaged, defective, whatever, and needs to be scrapped?
And that decision obviously impacts the finances and inventory levels.
Big time. You either recover the value or you register a loss.
Okay, quality check done. Now, the bit the customer's waiting for, the refund, how does that work here?
So after that inspection and the decision, a credit memo is created. This is usually done through the standard billing process within the system.
Just like generating an invoice, but in reverse.
Pretty much, yeah. And once that credit memo is generated and posted, it reflects on the customer's account.
Yeah.
That closes the loop financially.
Right. All tied into the main accounting system. Now, you mentioned different people are involved. It's not just one person handling all this.
No, definitely not. It's usually a team effort. You typically have, say, a sales administrator who might initiate that first return sales order.
Okay.
Then a warehouse clerk is handling the physical side, the receiving, the moving to return stock, maybe assisting inspection.
Quicker.
And finally, you'd have someone like a billing administrator who processes that credit memo we talked about.
So sales, warehouse, billing, it touches a few departments.
For sure. Coordination is key.
Which brings us back to that system integration point. What's the big payoff for having this structured, connected process?
Well, the main advantages are really efficiency and much, much better tracking because every step is linked from the initial RMA request right through to the credit memo. The company has clear visibility.
See where everything is at any point.
Exactly. It means faster processing, fewer errors, hopefully, and you also get valuable data on why things are being returned, which can be super useful.
Right, identifying patterns, maybe product issues.
Precisely.
Okay, this has been really clear. So for you listening, you should now have a pretty solid picture of how a return might flow through a company's system from that first customer contact right down to the financial settlement.
Yeah, it's a defined pathway. And thinking about this structured flow, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Considering maybe your own experiences sending things back, where do you see potential